Well, as most of you know, Nigel Farage has joined GB News, which he announced last night with a little video. This obviously sent Twitter into complete meltdown about it, but in all honesty it's kind of what I expect. They love to rage about everything and anything related to both GB News and Nigel Farage. Now obviously Nigel Farage I respect for his help with securing the Brexit vote, but I don't care what he gets up to outside of that, and I don't for a minute think this will save GB News from the legitimate criticism that it gets from the people who watch it. Let's remember they wanted something different to the mainstream media talking points 24 hours a day, which in all honesty GB News literally does. The presenters mostly bang on about bullshit, non-issues the BBC and that love, but the public really just don't care about. Then of course you had that tit the other day taking the knee, smashing what little credibility GB News had left with a lot of people. Now obviously there is a good thing with Nigel Farage joining, because if they let him he may well talk about the shit show over in Dover more often that sees illegal immigrant boat wankers float across the channel daily with the help of the border force. He may also bring up things like the grooming gangs, but he could just sit there spouting shit, you know, as he has done previously. And let's be honest, what GB News literally do every single day. Now of course GB News has wider problems like the format of their shows, lack of news bulletins, and of course boring presenters that people just don't care to watch. Obviously they have a few that people seem to like, and Nigel Farage will only add to that, but most of the so-called journalists they have hired are literally not interesting and just talk like quacks from the BBC or Sky News, which let's be honest, that's what they are. Now of course GB News is useful because it talks about some things the BBC won't talk about and goes out to a mainstream audience, and like I said, Nigel Farage is only going to add to that, but I still see it as the BBC 2.0. Now one good thing he did was state that he won't be taking the knee, but in all honesty I doubt many people ever thought he actually would. Nigel Farage is too smart to fall into that trap there, I'm willing to bet, especially after the shitstorm it caused the other day for that dopey tit. And then of course I also expect that Nigel Farage is not a supporter of it in general, but to be honest I don't know that for sure, and let's be honest I don't really care. One thing we can expect going forward though is a never-ending salt mine that this show from Farage is going to create. There will be a bunch of bedwetting tosspots crying their soy boy eyes out over any slightly spicy topic that Nigel brings up. And shit, we can also expect Ofcom complaints to fly in for literally nothing, and knowing Ofcom they would be upheld against Farage. But let's be honest, we shouldn't be surprised by that, because the butthurt little snowflakes at Ofcom blocked me for calling them out after they ignored 25,000 complaints relating to politicising family entertainment shows with BLM race baiting bollocks as I covered before. Of course, the fact it will piss a lot of people off makes this a good thing in my mind, and viewers numbers will be decent for each show at least, but it doesn't really change my mind about GB News. Obviously, I don't wish them ill or anything like that, I just really don't care. They might have uses from time to time, but I expect mostly dribble coming out of them like the BBC.